go. We'll call this committee of the whole meeting to order on February 24th, 2026 at 6 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, Andrew says that? I think we're okay. The camera's working, so I think we're okay. Okay, before we move on to public participation, we're going to jump to item number 4 so that our guest speaker can get back on the road. They live out of town. So we'll start with Lori Milosevic, LAR, presenting the fiscal year 2025 audit. Lori? How are you?
Good. I think Peggy passed out the audit report.
Yep.
I'll just kind of go over the front schedules. I think the report, let's see how many pages we have this year. I think we're up to 92 pages in the audit, so I won't go over all of them. I'll save you guys some, you might fall asleep. Okay. So if you want to turn to page 10 in the audit report, we'll go over the required financial statements. This is the balance sheet for the governmental funds. And you can see consists of the general corporate motor fuel tax, and then all other governmentals, which include 3 special revenue, TIF, ARPA, hotel motel, and then we have the debt service, the equipment rental, and capital projects are all combined into other governmental funds, and that's based on a calculation we do every year. So total assets for the governmental funds, $12.5 million. Of that, about 8.2 is in cash and investments. And then we have some taxes receivable and due from state of Illinois, about 4.2 million. And then your liabilities consist of some accounts payable at the end of the year and deferred revenues of 2.3 million. And then we have to break our fund balances down by what is reserved for use for specific projects, which would be your other governmental funds and motor fuel tax. And then any general fund is considered unassigned, and that's about 7.6 million. So total fund balances at 10.1 million at the end of April. So nice looking balance sheet. Page 11, if you want to turn to it, basically we take a cash basis balance sheet, we convert it to accrual basis, and this is just a summary of what we add to the accrual basis. We add your capital assets, net of depreciation, some deferred outflows and inflows related to your pension funds, and then we add your debt of the city. So this is a good breakdown of all the debt for bonds payable, your notes payable, leases, OPEB obligation, and your net pension obligation at the end of the year. So that's about 53 million total if you added all those up for all the debt of the city. We also give in the notes, I won't go over it right now, but we do give breakdowns of the maturity dates for each of those loans, how much is due each year, and then they're broken down until maturity as well. So there is a lot of information in the notes. If you want to turn to page 12, and this is basically your statement of revenues, expenses, and changes in fund balance. And again, for general corporate, motor fuel, and then all other governmentals. Total revenues, we break them down by type. 12.5 million for all funds. We expended about a little over 13 million. So we did have a deficit of 474 for the year. There are some transfers between the funds during the year and some grant proceeds. So overall, a deficit about 320,000. And again, included in other governmentals, you can see the deficit of it, about 698, is the TIP fund and ARPA funds, and those funds have to be expended according to the purpose. Okay, and then on page 13, this again takes it from cash basis to accrual, so you can see the changes we make. We record capital outlays and depreciation for general corporate buildings, equipment, anything you purchase, we add to a fixed asset list and depreciate those over useful life. You can see the changes in the pension funds and the OPEB obligation. And then what was repaid during the year for all your notes is at the bottom there. So you go from basically a negative cash basis change to a positive for accrual basis. Okay, page 14, we go over your sewer fund. 32 million in assets, which includes net capital assets of 25 million. And then current assets, you've got about 7 million between cash and investments for the sewer fund. And then if you go down at the bottom, we have our net investment in capital assets. We break your fund balance down by that. 9.3 million capital assets. That would be all your assets less all the notes and liabilities related to those. You've got two IEPA loans of about a little over 15 million, and then one loan for an excavator as well. Restricted is 272. Those are for debt service. And then your unrestricted for the sewer is about 7.1 million. Okay. And then the next required statement is your statement of revenues and expenses for sewer fund. Operating revenues a little over 4 million. You expended operating expenses 4.1. And I do like to point out about the fifth line item down is depreciation. Again, that is calculated, we do it every year during audit based on the use of equipment, the building, anything you purchased, we expense it over its useful life. That's 1.2 million. That is a non-cash expenditure. It is calculated during the audit each year. So if you kind of take that into account, when you look at that, the operating loss, let's see, we're about 353,000. 1.2 is a non-cash expenditure. So overall, your sewer fund looks good and healthy, even with the debt that it has on its books. And then the last couple schedules I'll go over are related to the police and firefighter pension funds. These are fiduciary funds. They are restricted for those retirement commitments for police and fire. Total assets is 16.8 million. We have some small payables. So restricted for the employee retirement commitments, 16.8 million. And those funds have to be used for that purpose. And then on page 18, we show the additions and deductions, contributions by an employer, investments, unrealized gains and losses. It was a good year for investments. So you had unrealized gains of about $1 million. So that does add to the net overall fund balance. And then benefit payments and deductions of 3.2. So overall, an increase of 511,000. Okay, I will point out just some pages. I won't go over them. Starting on page 33 to 41 is what I talked about all the debt schedules for all those loans that are outstanding at the end of April. So there are multiple pages that kind of show the maturities for each of those loans and what each of those loans are for. On pages 43 through 67 is all your pension related liabilities for police, fire, IMRF. A lot of information in there, a lot of numbers. So if you want to go to sleep at night, you can go through those pages and that would probably do it. And then on pages 82 to 92 are all the general corporate fund, motor fuel tax. It gives a little bit more information, breakdown by expenditure line items in a little bit more detail, if you want to look at those in detail. And then it lists all your other 6 special revenue funds and what happened during the year for those. As far as the audit went, we had no findings to report to the board. If we did, it would be included in this report. They do a great job. There's a lot of transactions that flow through the city. They do, Peggy and Chuck and the staff, they do a great job keeping track of it. They're very organized. They give us everything. I give her a list and they have it all ready for us. So we don't have anything to report to the board of any changes. We hope everybody just stays put and doesn't leave. But yeah, overall it's a good clean audit. We don't have any recommendations for any improvements. I think you got good controls. I think there's a lot of eyes reviewing everything, and Chuck does a great job of reconciling. So I think you got a pretty good system set up.
Questions for Lori? Well, thank you very much. I'm sure Peggy and Chuck have have some praises for you as well, but thank you for continuing to work with the city of Lincoln. I know it's a lot of work, a lot of probably boring work to many people,
Oh, yeah. I like
but
it.
it's important work, so we appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, only Chuck and I think so. If that tells you something.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Have safe travels back. Okay. So for item number 4, we need to place this on the regular agenda. Is everybody okay with that? Okay, we'll place item number 4 on the regular agenda. Okay, next, we're gonna go back to public participation, item number 3. We do have one speaker card. It is Mr. Bill Cooper, would like to speak to the council about the Campus View Sewer Project. Bill, please step forward.
Good evening. So I just have one question, or actually maybe several questions. I know the money's been approved. After speaking with a couple of you, we've had some bids done. I've been told we're shovel ready, but that's been some time ago. So my question to you guys and the council is, what's the delay in beginning of the construction of the new sewer project?
Yeah, I can try to summarize and then, here you go, Peggy. I can try to summarize and then, I know Mr. Bateman's been involved, Mr. Bounds and Mr. Hoblet. So yes, the funds have been approved by the council. They were approved last year for this project. We do have our permits that we need from EPA and it is shovel ready. The next step is we are trying, based on the design, we need an easement from Open Arms. And we've had conversations with them. I have personally had at least 2 to 3 contacts with Open Arms about it and have asked about the easement. The response I've received is that they're talking to their lawyers about it or their staff. So what that entails, what their concerns are, have not been presented to us at this point.
So it was my understanding last year that before we went out for bid, that we were gonna have that easement, that they agreed to an easement before we did that?
They agreed to it, but we have not been able to finalize that. Mr. Hoblet, do you want to elaborate?
Yes, they signed a document indicating that they agreed that they would grant the city an easement, but once we did the engineering, we have now presented them with the easement that they will need to sign off on, and we have not heard back from them.
And how long ago was that?
That was quite some time ago.
Months?
Yes.
So they've refused to come, Open Arms Christian Church has refused to come to the table to?
They have not outright refused to me. I am just being told that they are talking to their team.
Their team.
I believe that there's a lawyer involved. I believe they have a member of the congregation that serves in the capacity as an advisor for engineering purposes. We've seen some of those individuals come forward in previous meetings with them we've had. It's not the answer we want either, but it's the honest answer on our efforts and what we've been trying to do to get shovels in the ground.
Is there a time frame on the permits granted by AEPA when those have to be acted upon?
I believe so. I'm not sure. Kevin, do you know? Or Andrew?
Andrew can answer that, but the clock is ticking, yes.
And-
We are,
Mr. Cooper, those are a 1-year timeline on the IEPA construction permits that have been approved, and the sooner that we get shovels in the ground, the less likely that we have to request extensions. It's not a position we want to be in.
Right. I know, and we have several residents, some who are with me here tonight, on the south end of Campus View have had several issues with some sewage backup. One particular resident had a sewer bill in excess of, a sewer repair in excess of $10,000. So, the sooner that we get this fixed, or sooner that we can get in agreement with Open Arms, the better for everyone involved, so.
Yeah, my understanding is that I wouldn't necessarily refer to it as a repair. I think
A Band-Aid.
it was a very
yes.
expensive Band-Aid
Yes,
that, quite honestly, still leaves a lot of risk out there for
right,
those individuals and
Yes.
other homes up the line.
yes.
Mr. Hoblet?
Mr. Cooper, I am sympathetic, to your concerns and the concerns, of your neighbors. Like I said, this was submitted some time ago. One would think, with them signing off on the agreement, what is the holdup in the signing of the actual easement? Perhaps after having this public conversation today, that will spur them to some movement in regards to that easement.
Mr. Bateman?
so we haven't even been able to go out for bid yet. We have to remove 20 of the sycamore trees. Obviously, we would like to remove them, A, when the ground is frozen, or B, before there's leaves on them, to
Sure.
keep the mess down to a minimum. And that was part of their request, is that we take down all those trees in front of those houses. I feel for you. I live on Campus View. Fortunately, I have a septic system, but this is the first time ever in all my years of government where the state has given us an easement, given us a permit, and now we're waiting.
Right.
Usually, we're waiting on the state. We have. I can easily say it's probably close to 6 months now.
It's,
We have.
6 months?
I was going to say
Yeah,
several
I've
months.
reached out to Larry. I've reached out to one of the deacons at the church, and just
So it's almost like they're refusing to help their neighbors
I-
along Campus View Drive?
all I can tell you is we're ready to help you out at the tune of almost $2 million, and it's shovel ready. We could park an excavator down there if we have to and just sit and let it idle. We're waiting on them to help you guys out.
And, and I do want to share that part of the previous conversations we had many months ago was the stretch of land that would require us to go in on the side where the Open Arms facility is. We actually proposed a offer to purchase that property so that we weren't actually having an easement. It would be our property to maintain. That offer was declined.
We offered to purchase 20 or 30 feet of grass from the sidewalk out. Then that would become, the owner of that property would then have to maintain that 20 feet of grass, even though the city owns it. And we offered to purchase the street that you live on and make that a city street so we maintain it. And we were flat rejected on that. So now we're just waiting on an easement to allow us to do the construction and put everything back into grass again.
What can the residents, can we ask Open Arms to come to a city council meeting to discuss it openly? Can we
We'll meet them
private,
anywhere.
or can
They
we?
can come up here. We can meet them anywhere that they would like. we're ready to have the conversation. We want to get this project done for you guys. And
Emails, text messages, phone calls. We don't know what else we're supposed to do. And the people I've talked to, they know it's shovel ready. We're waiting.
Well, and it's a hope and a prayer every time we flush the toilets.
Yep.
I'm telling, it's just, it's getting to the point where, all the homeowners along there are gonna be, okay.
Well, and I would say that, as contentious as this topic has been, we do respect the rights of them, just like we do
Absolutely.
all of the homeowners.
Sure.
I wouldn't want them to do anything that made them feel like they were being pressured, or that we didn't give them time to do their due diligence.
Sure, we're just
So-
asking for their help, that's
Yeah,
all.
and we are too.
Yep.
We want their help to help you guys. I can say in my time up here, I don't think that the city has ever taken on a project of this size for a residential area like that. So, I mean, that's how important it is to the council to help you guys.
Well, we do appreciate your time and your efforts, and I guess I'll reach out to Open Arms to see if they can help us, get this rectified. So we're basically have 6 months left with the permits then, if I'm understanding you correctly?
Well, I think we just got those permits recently in the last few months. Andrew, when did we get the permit?
Mr. Cooper, those permits were achieved in early December, I believe. But I apologize, I don't have the
10 months,
paperwork in front of
about
me
3
right
months,
now.
yeah.
But we've had them in excess of 60 days.
And then how long would it take, once we get the approval from Open Arms, if they do approve that, then we're basically just ready to start, or actually have to cut the trees down first?
We're ready to go out for bid. All that work will have to go out for bid, but we've already talked to the engineers and they're ready. We're ready on our side is what I will say.
Okay.
We just need the easement so we can proceed.
Okay. If they don't, let's just say worst case scenario, if they don't approve the easement, do we have a plan B other than just, no?
We discussed it for quite a while. There's really no place else we can put the pipe. We can't put it in your backyards where they are now just because of grade and let's face it,
Water
people's
line.
already, well, no, people's already built garages over top of them because nobody knew where their waste went to until, someone had a problem, and then it's a guess and a prayer. Plus, there's other utilities back there. So the only way to do a gravity system is in the front of those homes.
So on those last 14 homes, that's gonna go on the east side of the backside, the east side of those residences. The first 8, that first block at Campus View where I live, it's gonna go, if my understanding is right, it's gonna be a liner that's gonna go in the existing?
We're gonna try to line the pipe first
Okay.
and then cut your laterals in. If that fails, then we'll have to replace that line.
Okay. Okay.
But the other homes that had the problems and stuff, that's a new sewer line on the other side of their house.
Mr. Hoblet,
To answer your earlier question, they'd be in breach of their agreement. So there would be various legal remedies that would go along with that. And I believe the city would also have eminent domain if necessary, but that would take time as well. So,
Time's not our friend, so.
no, it's not.
So,
yeah.
all right.
Mr. Becky,
So the only other option then is individual septic systems? Is that what we're looking
No,
at? We're
I don't have the.
Because
we
you
don't
said
have-
you had a separate septic system, right?
We live at the far end of Campus View.
Yeah.
Kevin, can you use your microphone?
It's not possible for them then to do that.
No, I've already looked
Kevin.
into that
Did
option.
you? Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on.
didn't
I
wanna
don't
be
have
clear.
enough room.
Miss,
to first-
can you use your microphone when you're speaking, please?
I live on the very end of Campus View where you go all the way down, back around the corner. When I say very end, I'm the end. There's a few homes back there that are on septic systems, but we have the land to have a septic system. These are small yards, and the EPA just will not allow.
Oh,
And I
Well,
think if
there's-
you live within, there's an ordinance too, I
Yes.
believe, that if you live within 900,
So many feet,
so many
Something of a
feet of a
water
city
you have to
tap,
hook up.
you have to hook up to the sewer.
really? Okay.
Yeah, so the ordinance, I believe that the properties Mr. Bateman's referring to are grandfathered in. The ordinance that is in place now prohibits the installation of a septic system if they're within proximity of a sewer line. Yep. So we are working on it. We will keep working on it. By all means, if you guys would like to reach out and have a conversation with them to ask questions, please feel free to do so, and we'll see if we can get this moving.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Anybody else would like to speak under public participation? Okay. Moving on to item number 5, request a permit with street closure, 6th Annual Logan County Pride Festival, Saturday, June 6th, 2026. Has everybody reviewed the request? Okay. Ms. Edwards, did you want to speak to the council?
Yes, please.
Please step forward.
Good evening. Thank you for sharing your time with me tonight. It's been a couple years since I've been here, so I wanted to reintroduce myself for new faces in the room and give a little historical context about the Logan County Pride Festival. I am currently the sitting board president for the Logan County Board of Directors, Logan County Pride Board of Directors. I do want to share our mission statement, which is to support the LGBTQ plus community of Logan County, Illinois, by promoting equality, diversity, and inclusion through implementing educational, social, and health and well-being initiatives. So that is our mission statement. For the new people in the room, first Logan County Pride Fest was in 2021. That was planned with a handful of volunteers, predating the existence of the organization. The following year, we did obtain our 501c3 nonprofit status. Year 1, we were at the fairgrounds, and we outgrew that space the first year we hosted it, which meant we had to find a bigger space. So we moved to downtown, where all the other city events are. We have seen growth in participation and attendance each year that we've hosted it. Last year, we did have a little bit of dip in attendance because of the weather. We always tend to get 100 degrees or tornado weather, no in between. So sometimes the weather out of our control affects us. But we also believe in strongly supporting our local businesses and always encourage them to participate with us. We always go around to them before we even come here to say, hey, we want to do this. Are you okay with it? We have shifted the actual streets we want to close a little bit. So we will not actually affect as many open businesses. The ones that will be affected will be Spirited Republic, which generally tends to partner with us, make shirts, make special drinks, and then Sherwin-Williams, both of which have expressed their support for the closure. We've previously partnered with the Bee and Spirited Republic to get them involved with us and engaged with our event. Our festival activities generally include music and live entertainment, vendors for shopping, crafts, treats, community resources, health through the hospital. We have food trucks, and then we also offer a kids' corner with bounce houses, crafts, and more, face painting, body art, those kinds of things. So that's just a little bit of a summary of historical context about our organization and closures. As I mentioned with the map that was provided, we have slightly adjusted it to centralize. Our goal is to centralize. We felt like it was very spread out in previous years, but to centralize people and not affect as many businesses that could be affected. And then I just want to remind council that the vote is for the street closure, not for a festival. We will have a festival regardless of the outcome, and just want to remind you of that. And I will answer any questions if there are any.
Any questions? Mr. Becky?
Did you say the first year you outgrew the fairgrounds?
We were in the beer tent area. We did not have the full grassy area. So we had the beer tent and then all of the immediate grass around it. And it was pretty much shoulder to shoulder.
So you couldn't expand in the fairgrounds at all, so it had to be downtown area?
We didn't explore that. There was accessibility concerns. One of our board members is wheelchair bound, and so she has brought that kind of side of things that I don't think about. Accessibility is a big thing there. In downtown, it's where all the other festivals are, so I just like the idea of a central location and getting the businesses involved with us.
Is there a site information about your group and the situation, you know, the event itself? Is there something that anyone can go on and check out the particulars about the group and this
Sure.
event
yeah.
itself?
So we have a website. It is not fully up to date with this year's event, but we put our sponsors on there, resources, and details like that. LoganCountyPride.org, and then we also have a Facebook page titled Logan County Pride. That's where most of our information sharing comes from. Events, details, all of that's usually shared through Facebook, and then we have Instagram as well.
So what is the site then? What's it called?
LoganCountyPride.org is our website. And then our Facebook page is just Logan County Pride.
And that has all the information about the group itself and what it's going to
Yeah, mission statement. The website would probably have more of it has our board members listed with their names. The mission statement, more of that historical context is probably on the website.
Okay. And what's going to happen this event then? It's going to be in that same internet site?
Yeah, yep. We're still working through planning because obviously we want to have locations secured first before we start booking people. Date we've established, but once location is cleared, then we start actually booking entertainment and people and those kinds of things, and we'll start filtering in that information.
Because I'm not familiar at all with the group or
Yeah.
its mission statement or
Yeah.
anything, so I'd be interested in looking at that first. So,
Yep, website and Facebook page would give you both of that.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Other questions for Ms. Edwards? Mr. Bateman?
I'm assuming running an event like I do, you will obtain insurance when it gets closer to, I know our insurance is, 60 days or whatever, so.
Yep. Ours has to be within 30 days, and we usually work with Michelle Bauer at Country
Okay.
to obtain that. That's who we've got it for from in the past.
Well, I know there's always the insurance question, but as you know, an event, when you get an event policy, it's only for so many days, so you just, it's hard to produce that piece of paper when the vote happens.
Yes, I think it's within 30 days for us to get it.
Okay.
Yep.
Are you gonna need the electrical components on the square?
We will. We plan to talk with Mr. Bateman with our shift in location, just because I'm not as familiar with the power boxes shifting down more in that McLean-Pulaski area.
Okay.
But yes, probably so.
Ms. Bateman, do you have everything you need for this request? Okay. Any other questions? Okay,
Okay,
thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, is the council okay placing this on the consent agenda? Okay, place item number 5 on the consent agenda. Okay, next item up is item number 6, Economic Development Commission grant approval. In the packet, you will see that there is a request before the council that was approved by the commission for lower roof replacement at 427 Pulaski Street, otherwise known as Lincoln's Loft. The amount requested was $7,500, and again, it was approved by the commission on the 20th of February. Any questions on this request? Place this on the regular agenda? Okay. Place item number 6 on the regular agenda. That brings us down to item number 7, replacement of hot water system at the Lincoln Police Station. Chief Meister.
Thank you, Mayor. For a few weeks now, we've been without hot water, and we want hot water. So back in 2018, when the police station opened, we had a brand new 50-gallon commercial water heater installed. In 2022, it failed. That was due to lime scale hard water issues. So we replaced it at the recommendation of the plumber at the time, just exactly how it had been designed initially. Now in 2026, it has failed again. Same reasons, same problem. So what we did is we called in a couple of companies to see if there was something else that we could do, because a hot water heater should last longer than 3 years on average. So the two companies came in and looked over our system and provided some recommendations to increase the longevity of whatever we replace it with. Some of it had to do with like a mixing tank, and other issues were brought to our attention with circulation system that was never utilized on the current structure. But I posed the question because it's really popular nowadays for the tankless water heater systems. Will that improve the efficiency? And the answer from both companies was yes, it'll improve the efficiency, both of the hot water supply and the life of the system itself, because those heaters are actually a little easier to maintain than a tank that's full all the time, because you don't run the risk of sediment. But also the suggestion of a water softener was brought up, and I think, and in my own personal residence, I have one. I think it is imperative with the water that we have that we install that. So I sought bids, and we received 3 bids initially, and that's what I gave to you in this memo. But I did receive a final bid from Henson Robinson after Peggy already put this on the agenda, so I wasn't able to include that in the packet. The first options are to replace the tanked system with basically the same exact make and model tank that we have. Henson Robinson out of
Hey,
Springfield.
Chief, I'm sorry to interrupt you. There is a bid in the packet from Henson Robinson.
Right.
So I did.
But I
make
got
it
2 different ones. So this.
Two different,
yeah,
okay.
2 different options. So, you guys should probably only see the one option, which is the 50-gallon tank.
Correct.
That does not include the, water softener system.
Okay.
That was not their recommendation. The second bid from Henson Robinson for a tankless system came in at, $19,000.
Chief, is that including the water softener with it or just the tankless heater?
On the
For the
Henson
19,000?
Robinson, it still does not include the water softener.
Did they say why they don't recommend the water softener? Okay.
They showed up once, and then the other bid was received sight unseen.
Okay.
And it was later on as well. So,
Right.
we called Dan Leith Plumbing out of Lincoln, and they came on site and provided their recommendations to install the 50-gallon tank, again replacing what we currently have. Alone is $83.15. They still recommend that the water softener be included with that. And on the final bid, which is the one that I am recommending for approval, is a tankless system through Dan Leith. Includes a warranty, 5 years on parts, 1 year labor, and 8-year heat exchanger. So the heat exchanger would be what would be replacing our tank, as well as a metered water softener that also has a 5-year parts warranty. This includes install as well. So it is my opinion that Dan Leith of Lincoln Plumbing and Heating has provided the most reasonable quote with the best possible quality that we can get out of these 4 options.
Yeah, I think the water softener is a must, given what you use it for down at the station. But also, maybe I'm a little biased, but I switched from a tank to a tankless system at my house, and they have their pros and cons, but a huge pro to them is when a tankless goes out, you pop it off the wall or out of its compartment and you put a new one in. It's a very quick switch out as opposed to having to bring in a plumber and replace the tank and all that stuff. So I think the tankless is probably the way to go.
The maintenance as well is quite a bit easier. You don't have to drain 80 or 50 gallons of water to
Yeah.
maintain a tankless system.
Mr. Parrott?
Who put in the last 50-gallon for
So we dug for those records. We found Chief City Plumbing, and that's about all I could find back from 2022. I was pretty new into the chiefing game back then, so I was I was not on that project, but I remember it being done. I don't know how I remembered that it was Chief City Plumbing that did it. It just came out of nowhere. And we were able to find that record, but I can't find who exactly did it. They were the supplier for the tank.
Okay. Mr. Bateman, then Mr. Downs, and Mr. Anderson.
I don't see anything on either one of these bids, but I would like for you to ask what it would cost to put in a water filtration system before the softener. As I stated earlier, we live on the very end of Campus View. We are the last house on the last piece of pipe in the water company. We install a whole house cartridge filter, not that expensive, easy to change. Then it goes into a water softener, and our entire house is soft water, and we get double the length out of our water heaters.
We already have that installed, so that's a part of the infrastructure already. What we'd have to do, what we'd have to do though with a tankless system is just change the type of cartridge insert that we use in that. So that's already in place.
Okay.
Mr. Downs.
Did the last water heater come with any kind of warranty, and do the new ones?
I don't know. The new ones do, yes, absolutely.
How long are the new ones?
Again, the tanked is
Eight.
Just a moment.
8 years on the exchanger, 5 years parts, 1 year labor, and then the water softener is 5 years parts warranty and a 10-year on the resin tank.
That
Got
correct,
last time,
and
so.
that's on the Leith plumbing bids, but I don't see the explanation of the warranty on the Henson Robinson bids. However, they're the same exact make and model for the tank, so I can only assume that manufacturer would provide a warranty that's similar, if not exactly the same.
And on the tanked one, it's only a 3-year warranty for the Dean Leith bid. Mr. Anderson.
Chief, I've never been in your facility, which I think is probably a good thing. I don't know.
Always welcome.
The police department there, but no, I'm sure it is nice. But no, the question I have is, if you went with a tank system, just approximately, and I know you probably don't have this, but if you could give an approximate, how many feet away from the tank system to the furthest water basin is there?
How long will you have to run the water before you get hot water?
From the furthest one.
That's
So,
my question.
Oh,
yeah.
well,
Yeah.
furthest would probably be 75 feet.
Okay. So there's a lot of waste of water then to get
To
the
get
water
hot water.
hot water to wash your hands.
Yes.
And if a shower was needed, for a department member or something like that, it'd take a long time to get hot water. So I mean, I know it's hard to determine what the cost of that water is, but it is a waste of water when you got that kind of distance. So I do like the tankless system, that you're looking at here. I think that's probably the best direction to go, but I just kind of want to know what the distance was.
Yeah, that would be the closest approximation I can make. And the way it was explained to me is with the tankless system, they are always recirculating. So it takes a shorter amount of time to get hot water from the tap.
Yep. Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, and I also, with the tank system, is it electric or gas?
It's gas.
Right. So, nobody has a crystal ball, but I believe that the cost of natural gas, we're going to see an increase this year if conversations I've had hold true. And with a tanked system, they're just sitting there constantly burning gas just to keep water heated so that when you want it, it's ready. So I think you're right. It's kind of like the pro and con, Wayne, which is because those on-demand systems, at least the one I have, I've got like 3 double breakers in my box, which means more electricity to superheat the water. So, yeah, she's very happy. Mr. Parrott.
So with the tankless, there's only one unit.
Well, the commercial system, it will probably require 2 because the amount of water that is required to feed all of those.
That's what I was thinking, to be more than one unit.
Right.
But you're going to have 1 unit or maybe 2 that serves the whole building,
Correct.
And you're not gonna have like smaller units under sinks and things like that, correct?
Correct. It'll be one unit in our maintenance room, where our water heater currently is. So that'll save us some venting and things like that because that already exists there.
Kevin, what do you have? I'm sorry. What do you have for the cost for that for the tankless? What's the total cost with everything?
95.55.
That's with the water softener.
And
Yeah.
then the 8315 did not have the softener on it.
Not to get into the weeds, but I see there's a lot of talk about urinals, and I can tell you by being the facilities manager at our dealership, soft water and urinals go hand in hand. They plug up pretty easy.
Very good.
Other questions for Chief? Mr. Becky?
So one unit, one 50-gallon unit does the whole building, what you've had before,
Current.
right? 50
Correct.
gallon is all you had, commercial.
Yes.
And then what all of them have suggested is still one unit, rather be a hot water heater or two forever type heaters. Is that what they're suggesting? Is like, that's why I wonder, but why they only had one unit, and you kind of brought that up, Steve, why they only have one water heater for that whole building instead of multiple ones serving different areas.
If
That's
I
just the way
understand your
But that was just the way it was designed, right? Just to have
Correct.
one water heater.
Yeah.
Which surprised me because when we remodeled that, you think, okay, I have a 50-gallon water heater. In my home, there's only 2 people that live in it, and we still run out of
right.
water.
Tankless has only been in the last few years, and we did the
Several
police
years, yeah.
station. Plus, it was an already, we remodeled the
Tankless is-
schools, so most of the plumbing was inside the walls.
Okay.
Where tankless, yes, I see where you're going. It would be nice to have a tankless heater in the men's restroom, tankless heater in the women's restroom.
I'm wondering if you're going to if you're overworking the one, because I only live 5 blocks from you, and I have a soft water system, and we have no problems, and just us, but and we've lived there over 10 years. So we considered that 10 years ago for a tankless, which was still available, but they're very expensive. But it just seems strange that they only have one unit for all that you'd have. Sounds like bad engineering for that, to be honest. And why they didn't do that if they was going to have one unit. So my next question would be, I would not suggest, and I don't know what the prerequisite is, but I would not suggest soft water units are terrible. You'd have more problems with soft water units than you do with water heaters. Because they're now so computerized, and we tried that same thing, but now we rent. So I would suggest, because then that way I don't have the liability of replacing it or doing whatever. I just pay a monthly fee, which is very reasonable, next to nothing. I don't know what it'd be commercially, but I just think that would be one of the options instead of buying it and then replacing the soft water system, soft water tank itself, because they're just junk. And unless...
So
I don't see any specifics here, but
not to interrupt you, but are you against soft water or are you for it?
I am for the soft water, but not buying it.
Oh, so
I am
you're
for renting that soft water unit from a facility, from a commercial business. They'll come in if there's any problem at all. You call them, they handle the liability. With any problems with it all, then you don't have to replace another one. You don't have to figure it out. And usually, by the time you figure out you don't have soft water, unless you're showering in it a lot and can tell the difference, it's not something you could tell just right away. But that's just my suggestion that water softeners are terrible. And I've spent almost $1,000 on them in the last 3 years just for, just me and my wife. So, that's just something to consider because I just think it's going to be a reoccurring issue, and more. And again, I'm not that, I'm against it, but I am, like I say, you have the filtration system. I totally am for soft water and the tankless, but not buying the soft water. Buying the tankless would be great because, there's no rental for that. But soft water is just a problem.
I'll be honest with you, it wasn't presented as an option to me. I didn't know that you could rent water softeners. I have one in my home.
No, not water. I'm sorry, water softeners, not water heaters. Yeah.
Right, water softeners. I have one in my home. It's been there for more than 14 years. It was there when I purchased it. I haven't had any issues with it. But if it is the desire of the council to reach back out to whichever bid you suggest, whichever company you suggest I reach out to see if a rental option is available, I'll do so.
And I don't, they probably wouldn't have a rental, unit themselves. They would rather sell it and then sell you another one. But, I mean, just personally, cost-wise, it's just better to rent that out and not have that expense, not have to worry about liability. They come anytime to check them. And again, usually with another facility, and I can't remember, I think we used, they used to be here in Lincoln on the south side. I can't remember right off the top of my head, but we still have them. And any problems, or if I think it's not soft enough, or there's some problem, it's all computerized. It flushes when it's supposed to flush and uses water when when we gauge it. But it's just a great option. I just don't have to worry about it.
That would likely require me to have two different companies work on the project as well, though.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I don't know these whether Dean Leith or Henson would.
Yeah,
they don't rent them out, but I'm sure they would rather sell them, replace them, than have a rental unit. I don't know that they even do that. But
yeah.
Anyway, that's just a suggestion on my part for.
Yeah, Puritan and Culligan. I know for a fact Puritan does because I use them. Not saying we should. I'm just saying they're an option. When they've come into my house, they will come in and actually fit in the plumbing connections for the softener, and they'll install the softener. The softener doesn't cost anything. You just pay for the monthly fee. But I do think, are you required to get the salt from the person that you rent it from?
No. Oh, I just remember it's Hicks Gas, who I used to be on the south end of town. And I still have them. They're not located in Lincoln anymore, but I just buy, a crystal, not the large pellets. And they said that's the best thing for it. And I've had it 5 years so far.
Okay. So does the council want the chief to source a rental option for that? Ms. Bateman?
If he goes to see the rental thing, let's say you go with Leith with the tankless thing, would Leith warranty all their stuff like they're saying they're warranty if you're putting in a rental water softener? That may void some of the warranty.
I think that's a very good point, Clerk Bateman. I highly doubt it. I don't know for sure, but typically a company may get a little salty, if
No pun intended.
That's another question. I mean, the city does not have a maintenance person other than Wes Woodhull, that's not his job and not his title. He just does it graciously. Who's gonna lug the bags of salt?
Well, we have two options there. The deputy chief and I, for a long time, and it has been the history of the police department, that the deputy chief and chief a lot of times take care of maintenance that we have the knowledge or skill to take care of. I don't have a problem with carrying a bag of salt, so that's something I can do. But Dan Leith's representatives did inform me that they would come in on a scheduled basis if we wanted to choose to use them to clean and maintain the systems that they've installed. So if you want just a lay plumber like me to do it, I can take care of it free of any cost, or we can have a professional come in and perform like a yearly maintenance to identify some sort of problem that maybe I'm not able to.
So to Mr. Bateman's point, and I actually mentioned this to Treasurer Conzo in a conversation I had this weekend with him, I do believe that the city of Lincoln is at the point where the council should have a serious discussion about hiring a buildings and grounds person. We have, not to open up a can of worms here for discussion tonight, but we have a lot of buildings and we have a few people taking care of them, and we're hiring them to do other things, not the things that they are doing graciously. And we've tried to get away from that. Like the IT stuff, Chief Adams used to do our IT for us. And when he left, Miss Bateman will tell you, it was kind of rocky there for a while.
I don't know how he did both jobs.
Yeah. So that's why we now have Eric Nato, and he does a phenomenal job. So it's about improving how you do it, but trying to be cost effective when you do it. Mr. Anderson and then Mr. Clemens. You good, Mr. Clemens? Can you pull your microphone down, please?
The company that does my water softener brings the salt in, they clean it, the unit, they check it out. All I do is pay them a small fee every month. I don't agree with buying. I mean, I would rent. They'll take care of everything, but if you want, whoever's putting the unit in, you're going to use them because the other ones aren't going to warranty.
Okay. So, current situation with hot water at the building.
0.
Okay, so in the interest of keeping this moving so that you can get hot water in your building, I would recommend that we at least authorize the expense of the tankless water system and then have you explore some rental options for the water softener. And I believe when you talk to them, they can even plumb in the necessary piping for a soft water system.
Yes, I would appreciate that. I think all of the policemen and women in the city would appreciate it as well. And in the meantime, before Monday of next week, I will speak with Dan Leith, if it's all right with the council, about potential options with the water softening system.
Do you have funds in your budget to cover this?
Yeah, we'll be
this
able to cover it.
expense? So just trying to keep things moving for the police department. In addition to my suggestion would be for the council to give the chief a not to exceed amount. And then the water softener option would be within his spending authority. And then they could have both components done at the same time, or at least done somewhat in parallel.
Mayor, that bid doesn't, the 9555 does include the softening system.
But it includes the purchase of it, not a rental.
Okay.
And if we authorize up to what you're suggesting here, even if you don't go with the water softener purchase, you still have the money allocated and approved by council, and you can execute on your spending authority to get that installed.
Understood.
I'm just trying to, not to cut the council out, but I'm trying to keep you moving along so that you don't have to do it without coming back asking for a rental agreement. Is the council in objection of that at all?
But I did it.
Mr. Becky?
Yep. In a lot of places with the soft water, they will include that labor even to put all that piping in. I mean, it's just, so it's all included in what they do. So it's no extra payment, no extra cost, usually is my experience. And then that's put in. So easily, wherever you think you may want to put that water softener, I mean, they can plumb that and cap it and have it ready to go. So that all the other stuff can be done right away.
Mr. Bateman?
So just to err on the side of caution, I'd like to give the police chief a spending authority of not to exceed 10.5. That's an extra 1,000.
Yeah.
At least you can get hot water, and we'll deal with the water softener. If you can get it all done under that, then
Yeah, because I mean,
you have to decide whether leasing a water softener would then give you a monthly expense for perpetuity of that building. So, if that's something that you can work into a budget that's coming up here shortly, either way.
Understood.
Okay.
I'll do the research.
So what I'm hearing is place item number 7 on the regular agenda with a not to exceed amount of $10,500. Correct? Okay, we'll place that on the regular agenda. Thanks, Chief. Okay, that brings us down to announcements. Does anybody have an announcement they'd like to make? Okay, Ms. O'Donohue and then Mr. Bateman.
So, since you all know Chief Meister as well, I will just let you know that I sat through the bridge program today, the launch of the bridge program, and I was not aware how instrumental Chief Meister was in getting it started. Many people today said many lovely things about you and how instrumental you were in getting it started and what it means to our community to have the bridge program and the task force program that you have helped start also. So I think if you guys aren't familiar with it, you should probably familiarize yourself with it, because it is a good thing for our community, and it is something that Chief Meister's apparently worked very hard on. Multiple members of his staff were there today on their days off, which was nice to see our police staff also there too. So just letting you know.
Thank you.
I agree. Mr. Bateman?
Just another reminder, there'll be a lot of basketball played this weekend in Lincoln for the John Welch tournament. What's amazing to me is, and there was a lot of wows when it came out, Lincoln College stepped up and it is allowing them to use their gym again. So that hasn't happened for a while, which will be nice, having more facilities to drive around town. But please bear in mind, there's going to be a lot of young kids, a lot of age groups, boys and girls playing basketball this weekend. It's a good thing.
Mr. Landers, how did your wrestler do last week?
He did not advance, but he did show up and competed well. So
Good. Ms. Bateman?
So the final number for the yearly sewer payments was 1,215 customers. That was 93 more than last year, and a total of $540,200 is what we brought in the month of February, or just up to the 20th. Yeah, and Chuck won. We all had a guess of how many it would be, and he guessed it by one
Did he
at the
really?
last minute. That was today.
Under.
Under.
So if,
Oh, so he still wins.
no, I
Oh,
went
no,
over.
you went
I
over
went
by
over,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if I'd been on the
Yeah, he
Price
had-
is Right, I would have lost. Yeah.
There you go.
But we didn't actually have any prize for it. We just
Thought we thought he'd get a day off without pay or something.
maybe without pay. Yes.
Please tell your staff thank you. I know they were busy for quite a while with that, and I think it's a worthwhile program for the community, and clearly people agree.
And
So
1 week, we had one gal out for family issues, and it was rough, but she brought us in Danishes when she came back.
nice.
Peace offering.
Okay. Any other announcements, Chief Meister?
I have 1.5. Alderwoman O'Donoghue took half of one. But one, I want to congratulate 19 new DARE officers for the last 2 weeks, previous 2 weeks. We had our Illinois DARE officer training program at the Lincoln Police Department. 19 officers from across the Midwest graduated that program successfully. I was very proud of that, and we had a first and probably only for the DARE program in the Lincoln Police Department. At the graduation ceremony, Deputy Justin Ice of the Alexander County Sheriff's Department proposed to his now fiance at the Lincoln Police Department at graduation. So I didn't see that one coming. That was exciting. But congratulations to all them. And then I wanted to piggyback on Alderwoman O'Donoghue's mention about the bridge program. This is a very new program. We just launched this afternoon. This is a deflection program designed to let law enforcement bridge the gap between the criminal justice and the service healthcare system for people suffering from substance use disorder, from homelessness, from mental health. This is designed so that we can leverage our contacts with those populations to get them to the services they need to improve their lives. And the biggest part of that is the employment of tax deflection specialists. This comes at no cost to the city of Lincoln, no cost to the taxpayer. This is funded through cannabis sales tax money, and they employ the specialists who connect those folks with resources that they desperately need to improve their situation. I'm really proud to have been a part of it, and I was just absolutely amazed at the amount of people that we have in our community that care about others, because I was a very small part of it. There were a lot of people involved from all kinds of different agencies, and there are more that want to get involved after today's launch. So please pass the word about Bridge. If you have questions about it, reach out to me. They have a Facebook page. We'll be sharing their posts as well to get the word out. We're going to hit the ground running with it.
Thanks, Chief. And thanks for all your hard work. We appreciate it. Okay, any other announcements? Okay, we did have item number 9 on the agenda. We'll be striking that at this time. I believe I reached out to you, all of you, and explained that. That brings us down to adjournment.
Second.
Alderman Bateman made the motion. Alderman Parrott second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. This meeting is adjourned at 7:05 PM.